You have just tapped into the Christian Life Coach Collective, and I'm your host, Laura Malone. I'm here to equip and encourage coaches in skills, business, personal life, and faith. I believe you're already 100% worthy and capable, and you're called for such a time as this. So let's get you walking it out with courage and confidence so you can be an amazing coach who sees transformation and great results in both your life and the lives around you. Let's get started. Okay, so I want to start this episode with a question. You might have been thinking in the past, like whether you're a coach or not, this might be the first time you've ever listened to this podcast and the title drew you. But that's the question. How do I know if I'm called to coach? So if that's been circling in your head and showing up for you, you're not alone in it, because a lot of women feel the same nudge but don't really know what to do with it and doubt that they are qualified. They worry what other people will think. They might not even be completely clear about what coaching is. Maybe they talk to people who are like, I've never heard of life coaching. That sounds stupid. What in the world could you help me with? And there's a lot of women who tell themselves they need more time or more training or more proof that they're called. I want to ask you the question, what if the evidence is already there? Because the calling to coach, it's not going to be on a billboard on the side of the highway, right? Maybe you've had this. If you have, please email me. If you've ever had an angel appear and with a clipboard that says, and I see that you, Laura Malone, are called to coach. Now go on with your bad self. Get with it. Please let me know if that's ever happened. But I don't know that it ever has for somebody. I think that when you're called to something, a lot of times, no matter what you're called to, it shows up more like a question. There's like a longing and a restlessness that won't go away, and something that stirs up in your soul and gets you crazy and makes you think there might be more. And what I've seen time and time again is women who are actually already coaching, but they don't call it that. Not yet, anyway. So they're the people that others go to when their life feels heavy, confusing, overwhelmed, like they're the ones who ask deeper questions and care about people and lean in. They're the ones who can sit in the middle of somebody else's pain or their process and not have to fix it, but be willing to help someone find a solution, find an answer, right? And if that sounds familiar, then yes, keep listening. That's all we can say. Because maybe you are already mentoring people, listening or guiding, friends or coworkers. Maybe there's women in your church. You're definitely probably doing it with your kids, maybe your neighbors. So if the thought of turning that into something official and actually honoring the gift that you carry and you're called to feels terrifying and exciting all at once, then you might, what do they say? Here's your sign. So, well, that's the thing, is I want to give you some signs to pay attention to. If people open up to you easily and strangers feel safe around you and tell you things they don't know why they just said that, and you find yourself listening, and you deeply caring and being fully present for the person in aisle 34B at Home Depot or Costco, you might be a coach. If you can sit in the messy middle and not have to have all the answers and be okay with walking people through their uncertainty, their transition, their questions, if you can be in that with somebody and just get curious, right? Then you might be called to coach. And if you notice patterns and read between the lines and can see beneath the story somebody's telling to catch the meaning and the emotion and the need that they might not, maybe it's unspoken, maybe they don't even know it's there, but you can see things that might be holding somebody back, or actually you might be able to see things that are strengths and resources they can't see yet, right? It's kind of like being a person who says, whether the person in front of you sees the glass as half full or half empty, it doesn't matter. You're able to see the rest of the glass, the purpose of the liquid, the purpose of the container, and define it and clarify it and help them see more than just the one aspect of the glass that they can see. And if you feel alive when you're doing all of this, and you like when you're helping somebody grow, when you're guiding somebody, and it's not about like being needed, it's about seeing them become more of who they are, and that lights you up. Like, yeah, you might be called a coach. And then I think also if you have walked through some things and you have been able to find meaning in your own story, I know you're not thinking like, oh, I'm perfect, but I'm in process, and you've learned how to process your own story. And now you might want to help others do the same. You might be called a coach. Okay. So I think the biggest one of all is you can't stop thinking about it. If you're like, man, I would love to do something with my life that's powerful, impactful, meaningful, that lights me up and makes me want to jump out of bed every day, that connects me to people, that allows me and my life, my wisdom, my skills, my experience to cultivate a story that serves other people, because I'm not the only one who's been in that hard place or done that hard thing. And boy, I wish somebody had walked with me, or I had a coach who walked with me. I want to do that for other people. I think that's so powerful. And I can't stop thinking about it. And I can't stop thinking about starting my own business, working from home, setting my own hours, taking a Sabbath, taking a sabbatical, benefiting my family, like being able to give back. If you're a helping-hearted person and you can't stop thinking about ways that you could help people and change your life, then coaching is a really amazing way to do it. Even if it feels unrealistic, or you're afraid, or you've dismissed it, or somebody else maybe has dismissed it for you. That's it. If it keeps coming back, that's a huge sign. It's often, I think, how God speaks to us through like a repeated invitation, a quiet but very persistent nudge saying, this might be for you. It might be yours to carry. I want to be clear that I'm not telling you to go quit your job tomorrow or announce to the world that I'm a coach. I can help everybody. But I will say that you can start listening and exploring and saying yes to the next right step, even if it's small. So this week, I just want you to try something. I want you to look back at the last 3-4 times that somebody actually thanked you sincerely for something, where you really made a difference for them. Like, what did they thank you for? What were you doing? What qualities were you bringing to the table when you helped them? And this happens to me in the store all of the time. Strangers literally tell me everything. And the greatest thing about being a coach is that I have the eyes to see everybody God brings in front of me as the right person to be in front of me. Like, I can feel the emotion welling up and tears coming to my eyes right now as I say this. The honor that it is to be called to something like this, and people are drawn to it. And I think of the years I wasted not seeing that I had something to offer, questioning myself, not afraid of doing something, but afraid of doing something without clarity and strategy is probably more my bent. And the honor it is, now that I see it, that people would share what they are going through, what they need, what they want, and they have no idea that I'm called to coach. They have no idea. I've been in ministry for 20 years. They have no idea who I am, what I believe, what I do, what I want to do. And yet they still just start talking. Servers, Uber drivers. And usually it doesn't always start with me asking a question, but sometimes it does. Sometimes I'm like, so where are you from? Tell me about yourself, I like to stay away from what do you do kind of questions because the identity of a person is so much bigger than what they do. So even my husband has been starting to ask people questions that are wider scope. Like we were at dinner the other night and he asked this couple, if you could do anything, what would you do if there were like no hindrances? Complete strangers sitting next to us at the restaurant. And it's so interesting the answers that you get from people when you let them show up, like things inside of them rise up with no agenda, right? I am never meeting people out in the world and telling them I'm a coach because I want them to buy something or, I'm not trying to make money off of anybody. When you're called to coach, you don't need to try to make money off of somebody because when you're showing up fully present in your gifting, strength, and calling, which is to be a guide to somebody, to be someone who helps people find solutions, and maybe you know of some solutions already, maybe you don't, it doesn't really matter. Can you help the person find one? I think it's just one of the greatest honors of my life is to be able to be accessible to people and just bring what I bring to the table. So how can you do that? That it's like your coaching call in disguise, like a masquerade party. You've got one of those beautiful masks that go over but your arm's tired because you're holding that up. That's what I think. If I ever went to a masquerade party and I had to wear one of those masks that I had to hold the whole time, I'd probably leave, or I would just take it off. Anyway, sidetrack, chasing butterflies. If any of this feels like I'm putting words to something inside of you, then maybe you're called a coach, I would be honored to walk with you. Obviously, the link is in the show notes if you want to start talking about this. I've got courses. You can get trained to be a coach, become certified as a Sterling and Stone coach, and learn the Pearl practice. You could jump into something that happens in the future that might potentially be something this fall that you can look forward to and apply to work with me and in a group setting. That might be fun. You might be thinking about that. You could take the Niche Clarity course, and that's just something real quickly you could do that will help you clarify your core message and kind of dig up the gold within you, then help see how that turns into a coaching solution that solves a problem that certain people have, right? No matter what, I want you to know that you don't need a title to be who you already are. You don't need permission to begin. You just need to say yes to what's already been there that God has been speaking to. And for those of you who are already coaching, already helping people and guiding people, but not getting paid yet, we're going to talk about how to recognize the value of what you're offering and start shifting into your coaching identity with confidence. So I'll talk to you then, and I bless you in your calling to hear and know the truth and start walking in it confidently that God will equip you with everything you need and He will finish the good work that He has started in you.
Thanks for listening. For more coaching resources and to learn how to work with me, head to sterlingandstonementoring.com or click the link in the show notes. Remember, walk boldly in your calling, and I'll talk to you next time.